I've always really enjoyed adventure games with a horror twist, and there's a new one on PS4 called Bulb Boy. But is this one gonna brighten up your collection, or has this bulb already gone out? In the game, you're taking the role of Bulb Boy, a small boy who has a light bulb for a head. You awake from a nightmare one night to find that your house has been overtaken by evil, and along the way your grandfather and pet dog end up going missing, and it's up to Bulb Boy in order to save them. The game uses a pretty simple approach. There's not a lot of text or dialogue to get into the way. You're kind of roaming around, looking for things to interact with, and solving inventory-style puzzles. Making your adventure pretty easy is the fact that each area you go to is a self-contained area or puzzle, so you'll have to solve that in order to advance, and you won't need any of the items there later on. The game has a great presentation. It has some moody sound effects and music, but the big drawing point is the artwork. It's not only very cartoonish, it's also very horrific, gross, and feces-filled. The game never gets too dark though. It goes for a more kind of gross out approach than necessarily being overly scary. Moving and interacting with Bulb Boy is okay. It works better on the computer where you're able to use the mouse and keyboard. Here, instead of being able to point and click on items, you'll have to get up close to them in order to interact, and sometimes this doesn't end up working. There's some rooms I went to where I had to roam around for a while, and then finally, something highlighted that I hadn't seen before, even though I was just in that spot a few moments ago. What makes Bulb Boy cool though is he has the ability to detach his head. He can throw it up in the air and bounce it along chandeliers to get across the room, or you can actually get electrocuted and not die, so you can connect wires that have been cut back together. To mix up the gameplay a bit, you can also play as your dog later on to solve some of the game's puzzles flying around certain areas. Throughout the game, there's also boss encounters, which are one of my favorite parts of the game, not only in their gruesome designs, but relatively fun to fight. Considering it was an adventure game, I wasn't expecting a little bit of action thrown in. The game has a pretty slow pace to it. Bulb Boy moves around relatively slowly, and this may end up being a turnoff for some. Thankfully though, most of the puzzles you get to solve are at least interesting ones. The game isn't particularly long, only taking a couple of hours, and every puzzle only has one solution to it, and there aren't branching paths or unlockables or anything like that, so it doesn't have a whole lot of replayability, but it doesn't mean that the game still isn't worth playing through that one time. From the technical side of things though, the game ran smoothly. I didn't run into any major glitching, crashing, or slowdown of any sort. Bulb Boy is available now on the PS4 for $8.99, and unfortunately it does not have a platinum trophy. Bulb Boy is also available on the Nintendo Switch, Xbox One, and PC. Overall, Bulb Boy is both cute and horrific, and even though it doesn't have a whole ton of extras or anything, if you're a horror and adventure fan, I recommend giving it a playthrough at least some point down the line. With that said, I'm going to be giving Bulb Boy on the PS4 a 6 out of 10. But anyway guys, going to wrap up this review. I'd like to thank you for watching, and of course I hope you enjoyed.